Hello, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. We're going to get right into the mid-January love check-in for the sign of Aquarius. It's just going to be a little check-in for you in the middle of the month to see what you may or may not be going through, right? To see what your love life is looking like in this middle January period. You want to check out your full readings. They're all listed in the top of the description. Your January love reading, just a lot longer, and your 2020 outlook and 2020 love outlook, they're all there. All right. You'll follow the link at the top of your screen for a private reading. If you're booking internationally, please email me so I can send you the invoice and schedule you manually. Some countries have difficulty scheduling with my service, and it just has to be done manually. That's all. So just email me, bowandarrowtarot@gmail.com. All right, Aquarius, let's get right into it. I'm going to pull out 2 romance angel messages for you, and then we'll get into your spread. Flirt, very nice. And we have attraction. Wow, Aquarius, very nice, right? For this middle January period, flirt and attraction, it's always good, right? It's always good to be a little bit lighthearted, right? Feel yourself, you know, to feel sexy, you know, feel flirtatious, especially when you're attracted to someone, right? So let's just see what this all means for you. We're going to pull out your spread. Now, this is going to be just a little in outlook. It's not going to be a full Celtic spread. It's a simplified spread. And of course, this message is not going to necessarily resonate for everyone, and that's fine. All right. Checking into mid-January for my lovely Aquarius. All right, guys. Straight out, we have the Devil. Ooh. Covered by the Knight of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. Empress at the bottom, coming in with strength, rounding out with Knight of Cups. Wow. Bottom of the deck, we have a 5 of Cups. Interesting. Aquarius, flirt, attraction. All right, so let's get right. I'm going to come back to this 5 of Cups. Let's get right into your reading. Devil energy, center of the reading, Knight of Swords. Devil is all about creative energies, right? But oftentimes the devil represents creative energies that have been blocked or stifled, and therefore many of us will sort of descend into the negative side of devil energy, which is addiction, right? Codependency, dysfunction, being a slave to our passions rather than exalting our passions, right? So what's going on here? Feels like you are certainly being tempted, right? Certainly right now being tempted. You're covered by a Knight of Swords. Now, lust can also, being lustful, but being overly lustful, being sort of addicted to that, right? Being sort of a slave to your passions, what we talk about when we talk about the negative energy of devil. Of the devil here. Devil is also carved for Capricorn, associated with Capricorn, but that has nothing to do with you, really, Aquarius. More, this is just about sort of, feels like somebody's like, you know, just tempting fate here a little bit, just tapping you on your shoulder. The devil is not, this is not a Christian Judeo, you know, interpretation of the devil here, right? Here we're talking about when you're, you know, when you are being stifled, perhaps, when your creative outlets are being stifled, you tend to go down a different road. You tend to go down the road of instant gratification. It could be that for some of you, Aquarius, right now, you're feeling a little bit sort of bored with your creative life, you know, or perhaps just in a position where you're not able to express as much of your creative energy as you can. And so naturally, you're kind of descending into the negative side a little bit, but it doesn't feel negative. It just feels like you're having a bit of fun. Certainly with flirt and attraction, it just feels like you're allowing yourself to have a little bit of, you know, extra passion right now, right? It's like, okay, I can't really, I can't really do everything that I'd like to do creatively right now. So I'm going to just allow myself to sort of indulge a little bit. Excuse me. This feels like a real indulgence, right? Now, it could also be that someone is coming into your life this middle January period that is sort of drawing you into indulging yourself, Could be Aquarius. Some of you may be working in a very creative field, but there's someone else in your life who's kind of just pulling you and saying, hey, let that work be until later. Come hang out with me. And that's really kind of what it feels like to me, right? And so you're walking a real tightrope. You're walking a real dangerous path here, because this could quite easily turn into a codependent relationship. Certainly when somebody is kind of wanting your attention, wanting, all of your creative attention, they want it for them rather than allowing you to sort of have that and use it for your own higher good, An example would be, say if you are some kind of an artist, or say you're a painter, right? And you really need to be doing a lot of your painting. You need to be getting it done, right? But you have someone in your life who's like, oh no, come hang out with me. You're spending too much time on your art. Come indulge with me. And it's kind of like, all right, they're very attractive. You enjoy their company, but it is a real dangerous kind of line that you're walking, right? Because it can become quite intoxicating for this individual to sort of pull you down this road, right? Because there's a passion there with them also. It's quite interesting. That's very much what it feels like. And you're covered with the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is all about being extremely sort of clear and sort of having a lot of clarity, using your energy to sort of get rid of any obstacles in your way. And it's interesting. It almost feels very much like, okay, so, let's get back to that example. If you're an artist of some kind, right, and you're a painter, and perhaps you've had some real issues, sort of some obstacles that you've had to get around to get some of your work done. They could have been sort of environmental obstacles. They could have been sort of time management or money management, right? Or whatever the case may be, obstacles that you had to work around to allow yourself the right space and time to do your art. And you're busy with that. And yet this person is still there, and they're still like, okay, you did all of that to get rid of all of these obstacles, so everything's fine, right? I mean, nothing's stopping you, so why don't you just wait until next week to do that and come hang out with me now? Really feels like that. It feels like you've put a lot of work is being put into you progressing your own sort of objective and goals in your life. Yet this devil just keeps pulling you away from it, And this feels very much like an individual who is using a lot of their attraction that you have for them, the magnetism, to sort of pull you away. Although you are doing everything you can to sort of progress forward with your career. I wonder, some of you may have come from a background or a past relationship that broke up and you felt really like regretful over it. It's been a lot of pain. And so this individual is also sort of serving as a kind of nice respite from that, Aquarius. If you're resonating with this, it feels like, oh, well, they're really attracted to me and I'm attracted to them. And it's been a long time since I've had a relationship. I really took a while for me to get over this pain of my past relationship. So why can't I indulge myself a little bit here, right? Why can't I? And it is fine, like I keep saying, it is absolutely fine to indulge yourself, but just take care, because this can quickly turn into something that you didn't expect it to be in the beginning, right? Queen of Pentacles and your Empress. So in your conscious, you have a lot of work to do. Right? Queen of Pentacles talks about putting all of her emotions and time into her career or her business. And so again, this feels like this is a reading for an Aquarius who really has a lot to do with it. You have a lot of things to get done in their lives. You have a lot of goals, and these goals are highly creative. In the back of your mind, you have Empress energy, which is highly creative. Spending is very much sort of in your power, spending time nurturing yourself, right? making sure that you remain, you know, vital and healthy, mind, body, and soul. You're taking care of yourself. You're taking care of your soul. You're taking care of your environment, right? You're working right now towards a level of abundance so that your environment can really mirror who you are on the inside. This is also Empress energy, right? So in a lot of ways, it's like, you know, this is an Aquarius who's extremely busy, which is creating this beautiful life for themselves. Yet, yet you have this devil energy still there, right? This kind of like, you know, pull that's coming in. You know, this pull to sort of, and whoever it is who's pulling on you, they love this energy that you have. You're highly creative. To have Empress energy in the back of your mind, you're highly creative. You're already the type of individual who's really sort of, who creates beautiful things, right? And who takes care of themselves very well. And up until now, you have been taking care of yourself. You've been taking care of your business, which I believe is probably some sort of artistic thing. Or even if it isn't, excuse me, sorry for knocking that. Even if it isn't artistic, even if, for instance, you are, you know, a financier or an architect or something that would not technically or readily be considered sort of an artistic sort of a career. Whatever your career is right now, you're very busy with it, and it gives you a lot of joy, and it really gives you, really have a huge goal to achieve, so it really gives you purpose, right? Yet, this devil energy is still there, and so somebody's really pulling you away, and I would say just be careful. There's nothing wrong with indulging. There's nothing wrong. Certainly, if you've been in a relationship that was difficult in the past, and you've been healing, you know, and it's like maybe you haven't had sex in a while, you know what I mean? Or maybe you haven't just felt like somebody's really attracted to you in a little while, right? And so it is okay. But the one thing with this devil energy coming in is that, you know, this pull that this person has on you is not without danger, right? It's not a completely sort of innocent connection. Now, there, you know, we could have that if you had a Four of Wands or a Two of Cups or a different kind of card there. The attraction and the pull of this person could very well be something that you could really sort of throw yourself into because there wouldn't be much danger there. But here there is definitely a little bit of danger. And it could very well be that this individual maybe has a lifestyle that is not necessarily so healthy for you, right? You know, there's something attached to this. There's something attached to this attraction. There's something, it doesn't come without a cost. It doesn't come without a risk of possibly falling into a very codependent relationship or dysfunctional relationship, right? It feels very much to me like on the surface, it's all sweet and lovely, but it could very quickly sort of turn into something where this person just needs all of your time all the time. And the next thing you know, you're in a really unhealthy dynamic here. You know what I mean? Excuse me, I had to take a sip of iced coffee. So this is quite interesting that this is coming in like this. And you have Strength energy and Knight of Cups. Now with the Strength card and Knight of Cups, this is the energy that really is coming, you're coming into this middle month period. 8 major arcana, right? So 8, the Strength card is also associated with boundaries. Setting and enforcing boundaries so that you can maintain your strength. Understanding where you are weak and where you are strong. And again, this individual, this connection, because this definitely feels like a person who's coming into you. I think that you're going to have to set some boundaries with them because as nice as it feels, this person is very quickly going to be overstepping. They're going to very quickly be wanting more and more of your time, taking you more and more away from the things that you need to be doing, you know, the things you need to be getting done, like your work, right? Very, very difficult. I'm going to say some of you Aquarius are going to have to exercise a lot of strength here with this individual, you know. This feels like a very sort of, on the surface, this person could be very attractive. You have attraction and flirt. They could be very attractive, smoking hot. You know what I mean? But trust me, Aquarius, you want to be super careful. I mean, look at how dark this energy is at the center, right? It's really sort of pulls you in, right? Be very, very careful with this individual. Make sure you put some boundaries in place. Listen to your gut. You know what I mean? The High Priestess isn't here, but I'm sure there's some intuitive ability here where certainly the Empress is about self-preservation. She's not beholden to anyone but the Emperor. So listen to your gut, you know. When it begins to feel like their energy is just drawing too much on you, right? That there's suddenly, it seems to be like a darker side to all of this, you know, niceness and attraction and wanting to be with you and I love you so much, you know. It feels like, oh, I love you, I love you, I need you, don't let me go, you know. And like before you know, the ball is rolling. You have somebody, you know, who's like, this is, you know, I know this is an extreme example, but, this, you know, almost feels like, you know, it starts very sexy and sweet and almost turns into them sort of like banging on your door and like, what the fuck? Why haven't you called me? You know what I mean? It sounds like, it feels like it could very much turn into that type of situation with this individual, right? And you're going to have to be real careful. Like I said, exercise some strength. You round out this period with Knight of Cups, right? Feels to me like you are then, by the end of this sort of January, Aquarius, you're going to be feeling like handing your cup to somebody. Now, this is going to be you. It's quite interesting because it feels very much like this person is drawing on you, right? And you're indulging. Maybe it's just even a little bit of sex. Maybe it's just a little bit of fun that you're having with them, you know? And you're thinking it's just a little bit of fun or it's just a little bit of dating or, you know, just I'm just relaxing, right? Just enjoying myself, right? And before you know it, they've already got it in their minds that, you know, you're theirs. You know what I mean? You better answer that phone. And it's going to get, it may indeed get quite messy because by the end of this period, Knight of Cups, you have your eyes on somebody else. You have your eyes on somebody else and you're moving towards somebody else. And I feel like this person here is really going to show their ass then. That's when you're really going to see a different side of this individual. Right? You're going to see the side that they didn't want to readily show you right away. And a lot of this is because you probably, for some of you, are resonating with this Five of Cups in the sense that, yeah, you did have a little bit of a heartbreak. Maybe you weren't feeling so great. Your self-esteem wasn't so great. Your self-confidence. And this person has come in and they really sort of like capitalized on that and made you feel good about yourself, right? You were already feeling good though, right? With regard to your career. But when we're talking about love, it could be that you had some self-esteem issues that they right away sort of pounced on. And that is the nature of devil energy to a certain degree, right? It's just really sort of, you know, the negative, you know, one of the highest cards in the deck for creativity is the devil, right? The devil is all about sort of that creative energy, that sort of kundalini energy, right? But what we really talk about here with the devil is when that energy is stifled or blocked, that it can turn so quickly into something so negative, right? And so yeah, you were doing well in your career, perhaps your creative outlets, but like a little bit of that lowered self-esteem and self-confidence and love. It's like somebody really kind of saw that and sort of like jumped on that, right? And I don't think you realized exactly what a nut you were dealing with. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's what it feels like to me. Some of y'all are gonna wake up and realize you've been dating a nut. And it was all about like, okay, they look good on the surface, but damn it, you know, my girlfriends warned me or my boys warned me, you know, everybody warned me and I didn't listen, you know, I followed my libido and now look at me. They're banging on my door. They're coming to my job. They're making me miserable. They're stopping me from getting to work. And it's all about boundaries, perhaps because you didn't set boundaries. You're going to realize at this period exactly how kind of, how important it is to set these boundaries in the beginning of a relationship. Certainly once you get to the point of trying to move away from them and hand your cup of love to somebody else. Because meantime, Aquarius, you probably didn't even realize that they were getting so serious about you. I'm going to leave it at that. This is an interesting reading. I haven't had a reading like this for quite some time. Let me know what's going on in the comments section if you can relate to this. You know, if you're going through this, I'm so curious. And, you know, the tribe will be curious in hearing your story, you know, if you're willing to share. I'm sure there may be quite a few of you, not too many. I'm sure this is not going to resonate with everybody, but I'm sure there's a couple of you out there who's going through this. I'd be really curious. But for right now, Aquarius, have a wonderful middle of January. Don't forget to check me out in February for your February love reading. Check your other readings out that are linked at the top of the description. But for right now, I'm going to say bye-bye.